Hello, my friends. This is your happy stamper lady, Rachel Markin, helping the creative you shine through. We are headed toward the holidays, and today we're going to do a couple of projects that are all about Thanksgiving. So, before we get started, let's take a look at my Facebook page. So, on here, I always try to post all the pictures of the things that I've made, and I try to be more interactive with all of you, which I absolutely love. I love when you talk to me and we can connect. I think that's super, super fun. Here is my demonstrator page, and on here you can order at any time and you can see new things that are coming up. It'll tell you about new items that are available. We're going to talk about a couple of those today. And of course, hello, my friends. I love to help you in any way I can. So, feeling a bit better this week. I still have a little bit in my face, but definitely not the pain that I was last week. So, thank you for those who have inquired and asked. I definitely am on the mend. So, Magic Box! Can kind of sing that today. I want to go over what I have in the Magic Box, and I want to kind of talk about the catalog for a few minutes. So, tempting you with my magic box. See all that cuteness happening there. I'm going to bring over the catalog because I want to talk about this for a few minutes. So this is the autumn to January catalog, and it's really more like the holidays, obviously. And this catalog ends, I'm sorry, August to December. My apologies. The new catalog is coming out. So this catalog is going to be done. And I want to highlight some really, really super fun things in here that I don't want you to miss out on. So today I'm going to show you in the catalog the pages that you can go looking. So on page 23 are these super cute gnome for the holidays, and we are using them. We're going to use them this week and we're going to use them next week. So we're going to concentrate on Thanksgiving this week, and I want to show you how fun that is because they look Christmassy, right? We're going to change it up and make them very fallish today. Super, super fun. We're also going to be using these wonderful gems. And so this is where I want to show you that your items can be used for more than one season. And that's important to me. I like my money to stretch, and I want to help your money to stretch as well. We're going to add in this super cute autumn punch pack, this trio of punches, which I have shown you before, but I want to show you some more. And we're going to revisit this plaid paper one more time because it is fantastic. I've absolutely adored this plaid paper and these celebration dies as well. So we've got a lot of fun things coming down the pike. And the reason I want to show you this is because this this past weekend, I was able to do what is called on stage for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. Stampin' Up! Is very, very loving and generous to their demonstrators. They take very, very good care of us. And on stage, obviously, we could not meet face to face with all of the things that are going on with COVID. And so they found a way for us to meet online. We had all these live videos and all these wonderful things because we get to see the new catalog. So there's a January to June mini catalog coming out. Super exciting. I cannot wait to share things with you guys in that. And speaking of, this is a sneak peek. And you guys are actually able to order this for the whole month of November. And I did not want to pass up on that. This is called Quite Curvy. Stamp set, and it comes with dies. You can get it as a bundle or you can get it separately. Obviously you can get it separately. This is a wonderful set and I cannot wait to introduce it, and this is going to be in the January to June. Great time to introduce some new things. So super, super fun. There's our great gnomes. We're going to have such a fun time with them. They are a great, great set. And of course this is that lovely plaid paper, and if you go back in gosh, I kind of use this plaid paper a ton. I was trying to think of all the videos that I did it on. Just show you all the various ones. I know in October I used this plaid paper the whole time. So if you go check out any of my October No, I'm sorry. October was just the last month. I'm very confused. Sorry. October was my steampunk month, so it would have been September that I used all this plaid. So this plaid paper is fantastic. I do not want you to miss out on the plaid paper. It is so, so, so fabulous. You're going to love it. This is the trio punch pack, and I will show you those up close. Let me just finish pulling the rest out so I have a little more space here on the desk so we can go over a couple of fun items. Magic box empty. Okay, the trio of punches, and I have already punched stuff out. But I just wanted to remind you what they look like. So you get these 2 leaves, and you get the acorn as well, which is super super cute. Now I have already punched out an entire baggie of those, so have no fear. We'll be able to use those. I always have my blocks. B and D, but I also have my black eye again because that curvy piece is long if I'm wanting to do some extra stamping with that. So I just wanted to have that just to be on the safe side. I always have glue, of course I do. The only actual ink pad that we're stamping with is Memento. Black ink. That's pretty simple, isn't it? Okay, we're going to do a couple different things today, and I'm super excited to share them with you. We're going to do a card, and I have not finished the card, but you get to start to see what the card's going to look like. So we're going to build up a card today, and we're going to build up a bag today. Okay, so we have a couple of things. I'm super excited to show you what we're going to do. So to introduce the bag, let's go ahead and introduce the bag first. I want to talk about doing a die cut. So I wanted to make some space on my table so that I can show you how to do a die cut again. I have already done a die cut with you. If you go to Sew Now What Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, I actually show you entirely how to do that. But it's always good to have a review for just a moment. So I wanted to make some space. See if you can see this. It's hard to get the whole thing in. This is the cotton. Oh no, there you go. It's nice. This is the cotton boss machine. It closes so that it's very convenient to carry. But then it just pops right open, and you've got. Sorry, my markers are over there, taking up the space. And you got this super steady, solid base with the legs on there. It's a great piece. I absolutely love it. So what we're going to do is we want to cut out a couple pieces for our bag so that we can get on to moving with our bag. So we have 2 plates that are number 3. Can you see that? Yep, you can. Number 3. You have a plate that is a number 2. Oh, there you go, number 2. And you have your base plate, which is number 1. I love that they are numbered, and I love that it shows you up here at the top 1, 2, 3. So it is very self-explanatory about how you use the cotton boss machine. I love that because then if you ever have a question, if you ever are like, I'm not sure what I need to do. I'm not sure what I need to use. Did you hear my plate just fall down? I have to go retrieve. I do have to retrieve my plate. I'm not sure what to do. It tells you exactly what to do. I got to retrieve my plate. Excuse me. My plate kind of decided to fly off the table. Okay, so I wanted to show you the machine. So we're going to put it on here. We're going to put our piece in. We're going to put our other plate over top of it. They are going to offer a magnetic plate. They have not gotten the magnetic plate to be exactly what they want it to be just yet. I guess it's not performing up to the standards that they're looking for. So the magnetic plate is on hold for now. I do like the magnetic plate. We had one for the Big Shot, and it was really nice. Although I have to say, I feel like for the most part, this plate does a really good job of holding everything together. So I don't feel like it's bad per se. I do think I like the magnetic plate just so that I don't ever worry about it moving off. But so far, this is a very smooth machine. I had a lady on stage this weekend call it The Boss, which I thought was super fun. And I thought I would like to start referring to it as The Boss. I think that's a super fun idea. Okay, so there you go. You saw me just roll it through on the plates and do some cutting, and we are done. And then you pack it up and it goes over onto my little stand that I've got over here to the side. Okay, so then we have two of these pieces. Sorry. Sorry, I'm not showing it there. We have two of these beautiful die cut pieces. Now, I cut out more. I want you to know that. I mean, I didn't want you to have to watch me cut out 1,000 things. So I'm going to go through and show you pieces that I cut out for our bag. So I cut out two in the cinnamon cider in this size. So we'll get all of our sizes so that you can see the different sizes that we have to work from. Sorry. Good gravy, I set things everywhere. Okay, so if you see this, this is the second size, not the biggest size. I did this second size here. And then I cut out in the plaid paper, I used this size that I cut out. Okay, so super, super cute. So what I did was I had two of these for the bag, two of that size, and I also have two of this size for the bag. Okay, so that was super simple. And then the next size down, I cut a white piece out for the bag. Okay, so there's our bag pieces. Then the main piece for our bag, you'll see up here on the notebook, the Thanksgiving gift bag. The base is 7 by 6. Okay, so you start out with the base that's 7 by 6. Then you're going to do some scoring. So on the 7-inch side, you're going to score at 3 inches and 4 inches. Okay, and then you're going to turn it on the 6-inch side here, and you're going to score it at the 5 inches and the 1 inch, and that is all written up there for you. Okay, and once you score it, you're going to use your bone folder and you are going to burnish all of those scores so they're nice and tight. Okay, we're burnishing our score lines. Boom, done. Then you're going to take your scissors like I did and you are going to cut on those marks where the you're going to cut where the 3-inch and the 4-inch. So on the 3-inch side and the 4-inch side, and I make a little notch, which simply means that I cut out a little extra so that it sets well. And you're going to do that on both sides. So then you're going to have a piece that looks like this. Okay, now I used my tear and tape and I had it on there ahead of time because I think tear and tape is better if it sets for a moment. I feel like if you do not let it set, it will just peel right back up at you. And so what I did is I will show you on one side I did the tear and tape on the sides of the box piece and 2 pieces each on the little flappies. Okay, on the flaps. And then on the opposite side, I did the tear and tape inside, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, so I remove all the tear and tape. This is where the Pick-a tool is brilliant because I don't like to have to try to get that stuff up, and you see how easy it is with this Pick-a tool. Boom. Just like pops up and it's done. Pops up and it's done. Super, super, super simple. So I'm doing the tear and tape and I'm going to do all the tear and tape at one time. I'm going to pull off that outer shell per se. Okay. And I'm not going to pull this off just yet. Okay. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the little baby piece up and I'm going to put this right along the edge, okay? Don't let your baggie stick. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Pulling this up and I'm coming across and I'm lining up edge to edge, Do you see what I'm saying? Edge to edge. So got my little piece there, edge to edge. Now, you'll see I have the tear and tape here. So when I remove the tear and tape on this side, I have tape on both sides of those edges. So I have an edge here, and then when I bring this up and I connect them, I have another edge. Okay, and then I can do the same thing with the final piece here. Boom. Lay it down nicely, and what do you have? You have this tiny little box, which is so cute. Isn't that great? Then you can start building with your other pieces. So the first thing that I would do is I would take the two cinnamon cider pieces. Now I'm going to just use glue. Okay, and I'm going to do glue all along the top up here. The only place I'm going to go, and I'm not going to do like these little sidey edges, and you will see because the cinnamon cider piece doesn't quite come to the edge. So I am looking, excuse my head, I'm looking down here. I want it to literally just be at the edge to edge. That's what I'm looking for. Then I turn it the other way and put my hand in the box and kind of, kind of squish it down. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'm going to come down into a point there. And I'm going to do the other cinnamon cider piece on the edge. So again, I'm looking for it to just sit on the edge like that. Gonna fold it over again, kind of press my hand down inside the box, and then I'm gonna come back. Look at how cute. You're building this really cute bag, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm loving it. I'm loving this bag. Look how it's coming together. Okay, and then I'm gonna build the bag up on this side. I'm gonna put a piece there. I'm going to do the same for the other side, right? And you could use either side. It's really what you want. It's really the colors that you want. So there's no right or wrong with that. I mean, there are so many options on that plaid paper. I love that plaid paper. Now, when you cut out this piece on your piece, you're left with this edge. And that's what we're going to make our card out of. So again, you know how I don't like to waste. I don't like to waste any pieces. Now, I am not going to attach that piece yet because I would originally, I would stamp on that piece. Okay, and it would look like this. Sorry. It would look like that. So I have stamped. So I'm going to attach that, but then I'm going to show you how to do some stamping, and then we'll show you how to move on to some coloring. But you see how the bag is coming together with all the fun accessories. Now I've already done some of the coloring because you obviously do not want me to, you do not want to sit and watch me color everything. That seems a little bit kooky. Okay, but you see the bag is coming together. Now, I also should have, I was looking to see if I had my piece. I have another piece of cinnamon cider. If not, I will cut another piece because we need our handle for our cinnamon cider. Okay, I will cut another piece for our cinnamon cider handle that we have. Oh, yes, there we go. There we go. My bad. So the piece that I cut out is going to make an adorable handle inside for this bag. This is how you use all the goodies, okay? So, you know what? I'm actually going to do tear and tape on that. I was going to do glue, which glue would hold, but if you were wanting to put anything substantial into your bag, tear and tape is probably the better idea. I never want to feel like, oh, I've made this cute bag for somebody, but it's not going to hold up. I don't like that idea. So this is me being ingenious. I think for the other handle on the other bags I made, I literally cut out probably 3/4 of an inch by 7 inches and just put it in there. Just a straight handle. But why not use what you got because it's here, right? So there you go. Now, for me to do the handle, I certainly will burnish that so it's nice and flat. Now you saw the other one that had been sitting there for a while because I actually do like to let those sit for a little bit because I think it works out really well that it peels up easier. But you see, it burnished it. It's fine. It's coming up just fine on there. Excuse my nose. Sorry. Okay. And so what a cute handle this is actually. So we are going to actually, it kind of sits down on the box part. All I'm trying to do is look and see that that looks even on there. Lay that down, flip it around, and it literally, let's come around here, make sure we're doing it right. Even, like it looks all cute in the bag. Oh my goodness, what a cute, cute bag that is. Okay, let's talk a little bit about stamping. Okay, let's do a little bit of stamping and then we'll talk about coloring and decorating and all the super fun things that we're going to get to do. Okay, so I'm going to put my bag over there to the side, and let's talk about stamping our gnomes because they are fabulous. So what am I going to pull out? Of course, you know what I'm going to pull out. My handy dandy Stamparatus. Okay, so we're done with that and we're done with our scissors for a little bit. So I'm just going to put those over to the side so we have our space here. Okay, so on the Stamparatus, what we want to do, first of all, when you have your Stamparatus, I store everything together. So you do not need the black mat for this because they are cling stamps. You do need magnets. I actually found a couple more magnets. That'll crack you up as I was moving stuff around. I have some metal, I have some stands on each side of me, and they actually were sticking to the wheels of my metal stand. Isn't that hilarious? Okay, so I am going to put this little guy down here like this. We're going to create a scene today. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's actually really, really easy. You can do this with any stamps. It's not just the gnomes, but I want to show you kind of the idea behind it. So that means I'm going to take a couple stamps at a time. I'm not going to stamp individually. I'm going to stamp a scene. So I want the house. I think the house is super, super cute. And I want the gnome to sit there as well. And he has room. I tried to, what I found was like see his hand and like the root of the tree. I found that they sat nicely together, which means I can have my magnet down here and not be in the way of that gnome because I want it to hold fast to both sides. Okay, so see how I created a scene. Now you can make a bigger scene than that, but this is all going to fit on that piece of paper that I obviously want to use for the front of our cute little box. So with the black memento, we're going to go along. We want that nice and deep. You can't quite see them up there, but I'm just stamping on my stamps up there so that they can come back down and be on that paper. Okay, and then we take a peek. How did they stamp? Perfect, actually. I love that. Okay, so I stamped the scene there. Then I'm going to stamp the scene on my card. Now, I probably will end up moving them because I have a little more space in this frame, but I want to show you how I do the exact same thing on the card. Normally, I would wait to add any extras to the card before I stamped, but what I found with the card was that I could place my scene, because I'm using the Stamparatus again, literally inside my frame, which was super, super cool. So that's what we're going to do. So our card base, as you see up there, is 11 inches this way, 11 inches. 4 1/4, scored up 5 1/2, and we're turning it sideways. The frame that we're using is literally because we already cut out pieces for our bag. I love that I can do multiple projects at one time just by using the different pieces that are left over. That is actually a favorite of mine. I think that that is super, super great when I can create something out of multiple things instead of having to do extra work. I love that. I think that that's brilliant. Okay, so if I want to create my theme, again, I want to create my scene, I am going to go ahead and clean these guys because they're going to be separated just a bit more on the card than they are on that other piece because that other piece was smaller. Okay, so we're just going to clean those off with our chamois. And then we're going to come back and we're going to decide where we want the house to lay and where we want the gnome to lay so that we're happy with our scene once again. Okay, what I found for this is there's a little like dip in this, and I found that literally like the pathway kind of sits down cute in that dip. Okay, and then my gnome, he has a little more space to spread out, and I liked him, like the little ornament, although I'm going to show you how to cover all that. It's not going to be an ornament when we're done. The little ornament will be different, and then he sits down in there. Okay, once again, creating a scene for our card. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to come back and we're going to put our ink on there. We're just using the Memento Black. The reason that I'm using Memento, although I like Memento all the time for my black, is because I'm going to be using Blender Stampin' Blends. And I love them and they don't bleed. That black doesn't bleed and it makes such a crisp image. Hello to that cuteness. Do you love it already? It already made a cute scene. Okay, so I have already done some coloring, so we're going to move on. I wanted to show you how to put those together, but we're going to move on to things that are already sort of put together to help you to see how we can take next steps. So we have cleaned those off. We put those to the side. And actually, we're done with the Stamparatus. So we're actually going to put that to the side as well. And we're going to come in, okay, with this cute little guy. Same thing. Okay, so I created the scene. Super easy. What I am going to show you, however, is that I stamped him on a piece of paper like this, okay, brown piece of paper, and I cut his hat out so that he'd have a different hat, because obviously he has a hat that looks like this, that could look Christmassy, and I thought it would be fun to cut a hat out of this, of a different piece of paper. Isn't that fun? So he could have all kinds of hats. So he could have any paper you wanted could become his hat. Do you see what I'm saying? So like magical. So I did want to show you, hold on just a minute. Sorry, my thing fell down. I wanted to show you, then I pull them out here so you can see what I mean. I leave a version of the hat. And then I don't have to stamp them over and over again. Then it's on the paper. So this hat fits this guy. So I have a hat, and then any piece of paper that I want to put that on, I can cut that hat out of. This hat fits her and covers the tree. Isn't that fun? Excuse me. This hat, so this was the original one. You can see the stamping of the old hat, but then I wanted it on the brown paper, so I did the brown paper. So I keep these in here so that I can make any hat that I want to. So then these gnomes don't just become Christmas. You see that? Like, then you could use them for any season. They don't have to just be Christmas gnomes. They could be whatever season you wanted them to be. Isn't that a fun idea? I think that's super brilliant. I love it. Okay, so that's one little tip for stretching your stamps. Then I didn't want the holly. Obviously, I didn't want the holly, and I didn't want the Christmas bulb because I want this to feel fallish. And so then I took my baggie, because I have 1,000 of them. I took my baggie of pre-stamped leaves, right? And I picked a leaf that I thought would be cute on his hat, and I picked an acorn. How simple is that, right? So, and I did the same thing here. Okay, gave him a different hat, gave him a leaf, different leaf, gave him an acorn. Okay, so now we have used some of our supplies that we have for fall, and we have taken what essentially would be a Christmas stamp set, and we have changed it dramatically into a fall set that we can use for our Thanksgiving table. I'm so excited about this idea. I think it's super, super brilliant. Now, I want to introduce you to the idea of this stamp set, okay? And I know a lot of people saw this stamp set and thought spring. And so what I wanted to show you is that this set here, these come with die cuts, by the way. I can show you this. You could get it as a bundle with die cuts, okay? So it cuts out all your stamps and makes beautiful shapes. So this was a die cut. All your little birds are die cuts. And this big thing of leaves is also a die cut. Okay, so now let's talk about how we can take the extras from this stamp set. Let's talk about how we can take the extras and we can make something different. We can change up what we already have going on. Now, let's talk about the card first. Let's finish off our card. So on the card, what we can do, this is where I take blends. Now, I will say to you, and I say this all the time, find your own voice. If you don't love to color, you could color just little bits of it, or you could color lots of it, and it wouldn't matter. So I like to color all of it. So I would get my blends, and I would color his little hands and face in. I would color his nose in. And those are in the petal pinks, light and dark. The nose is dark, the body is light. And then, depending on the card that I'm using, I would decide what I want to color, like the bulbs. And so I have some rich raspberry over here. So the light rich raspberry, I will color the lights with here. Okay, do some cute lights there. And I think because you're coloring a different color, it's going to look very fall, especially when I put the leaves on. I think you're going to absolutely adore it with the leaves on, right? And then I'm going to take the dark and I'm going to color the top here like this. Nice, super, super cute. I'm going to color a piece of his sock with the dark. I think that's fun. I think that's really cute. And I think that we're going to color the doorknob dark, but then we'll go in and we will use our Calypso coral. So this is just play. This is just fun. You could decide what you want to color, what you don't want to color. You could do bits and pieces of it, or you could color it all. I am someone who likes to color. Actually, coloring is very relaxing for me. I find it to be very relaxing. So I actually really like to color. So I color and I find enjoyment in it. If you don't find enjoyment in it, certainly do not certainly do not color if it is not enjoyable to you. It is totally something that I'm like, oh, I feel super relaxed while I'm coloring. It makes me super happy. So that's what I'm doing here. And I chose colors that I felt represent the fall, but then realized that this could come on in and that little gnome could end up holding an Easter basket or eggs or whatever. The possibilities are endless with this gnome set. If you go outside and you're like, oh, look, if I just change his hat and I change what he's holding by having a punch out of something, I've totally actually changed the entire look of this gnome. Super, super fun, and I love that. Then I'm going back in with the detail of the door. I think that helps. Look at how that's popping that whole just pops the whole card out, I think, when you take time to just do that little extra detail. I absolutely adore it. I think it calls for super fun coloring and you can have a really good time with them. Okay, and then we'll give a little light in the door because you want to look like you are welcoming. Got a little light in the door window. Nice! And then I've already colored the leaves. You don't want to watch me color everything. Now it needs those leaves, doesn't it? It needs a little pop with the leaves. Okay, before we do that though, we need to cover this inside piece because we have colored. So anytime that you color, with the blends, not with markers, it will bleed through. But this is beautiful because look what it does. And then this gives you space to write, okay? So I consider this my writing area. And then over here, we want to put in a cute little word. We want to like put in something cute. In fact, I think, oh, yes, I do. I think on the other card, I cut an even smaller piece so I could put my word in there. Okay, so we have just a brief little bit more of stamping. And our card is done, and our bag is pretty much done too, because I just want to show you how I'm going to add the pieces. In fact, we can do that for the bag, and then we'll finish stamping so that I can show you the rest. So here you go, is the little piece that I would put on the bag, which I thought was adorable. So I'm going to put that on the bag. I will finish coloring it, but I didn't want you to have to watch me color more. I'm going to actually color him the exact same way I colored my card. But I thought that you would like to see how cute that turned out. I thought that ended up being really, really cute. And also, the other thing that I want to put on there, and I already colored these because I didn't want you to have to watch me, but hello to the bird. Isn't he really cute? And that also came from this adorable set. That came from the Quite Curvy, which is available to you now, by the way. You're able to pick that up. And so I think that the little bird must go on there because he is the cutest ever. I think he is so adorable. So we've got the little bird going on our bag. Oh my gosh, do you love it? I love it. And then the other thing that I added was this little just the one gem here on the bag, and then we'll add a couple on the card to finish it off. Okay, so the bag, other than coloring, is done and adorable. And I'm going to show you the idea of using it as a place setting, perhaps. So we'll do that here momentarily. But let's go ahead and stamp the inside, and then we will finish off our cards so you can see the whole thing together because it's so, so cute. You're going to want to see all that together. Okay, so I want to start with, I liked this saying, oh, thinking of you makes my day. I thought that was fabulous. So we're going to have thinking of you makes my day. And then I need to come over here. Excuse me just a moment. Okay, and I need my plate so we can have this sitting all nicey on here. Okay, so on this one we do need the black because the Quite Curvy is a photopolymer. So on this part here, we will do what you've seen me do in the past. When it is a long card like this, we can totally put it upside down. It does not harm it in any way. You just need to remember that that is the direction that you're having it go. So I am looking at the words upside down, if that makes sense. I'm looking at the words going, oh, that looks upside down, but it works perfectly fine. Okay, so we want it to say that nicely on the card. So, and we're still going to do that in black. Super, super simple. The nice thing is that we are using a lot of different colors in the markers, in the Stampin' Blends, but the actual stamping itself, we're all doing all black. Oh, I love that. Okay, so we've got that going on. And then we've got our little white piece over here. So we're going to bring that over. And on that one, I thought it would be fun to say your friend like Gnome Other. Isn't that cute? So I thought we would do your friend like Gnome Other. So we'll just move this so we don't hit the stamp. That's all you're really looking for your magnets. You just don't want to run in to the stamp. Okay, so we're going to do that. And we'll do that in black as well. And we'll put that down. And the reason that we're doing all of that is because obviously if you have all this stuff on the front, like if you have things attached on the front, it is going to be harder for you to stamp. It'll make it all weird and messy. And then the only other thing that I want to do is I loved this accent piece from the Quite Curvy. And I think that it would be nice to have it kind of like just a little... yeah, just a little extra. I think that looks really nice. And I think that you could do that in the card. So there you go. You're going to have that sitting there like that. So then we could have a little piece here. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this piece in. Now we're ready for this piece to be attached. We're going to go ahead and put that in. I'm not going to do a whole lot to this side because this is the side I'm going to write on. This is my writing space, so I want to leave it for that. I want it to have writing space, and I think it looks beautiful in here. I mean, obviously you need to cover up where you colored, but nobody knows that. It looks like, oh, look at this beautiful card you put together for me. Nobody's thinking, oh, they just were trying to cover up messy coloring. It just looks beautiful, doesn't it? Isn't this a beautiful card? Then what I would do is just a little extra. I would come in here maybe like at the top there, and it will come in here at the bottom like that, and you're done. Okay, so that is the inside of your card. That is looking quite gorgeous. We've done all the coloring that I want to do on here. So then I can come and I can bring in my leaves, and I want my leaves to pop up. So I'm going to use dimensionals on my leaves. So there we go with that. And because I just think I like to have, I like to have a little bit of a 3D feeling. You do already with the frame, and you've got your pieces, but I don't know. I just thought this was really cool. Now, what I noticed about the leaves is that there's like a curved piece right here that literally kind of sits in his hat. Isn't that super, super cute? And then what I found is that I wanted like a little bit of shimmer, I guess. You know me with glitter. I like that. And I felt like these gems, these wonderful gems, did the trick. They looked like, I don't know, like, the sun was coming down into the leaves. It's, beautiful. I don't know how many of you got a chance. I know that the leaves are going away, but a couple weeks ago, Sean and I went for a drive with my dad, just like here, just like in the Bell Fountain area. Just went for a drive, and it was stunning. Just how gorgeous the leaves are. Just a reminder of the blessings, I guess. I definitely feel like it's always good to be reminded of the blessings. Okay, and so can you see? Yeah, you see, like when I take pictures, I think it'll show up even better. But what a beautiful little card this is. And we need another little bird. Those birds just kill me. They're so dang cute. I I just fell in love with these little birds. I think they're really cute. But again, I wanted to show you. Okay, this is a set that's going to come out in January to June, so more like what people would think is a spring set. And here I'm using it for the fall. Really, really want to concentrate as we head into the holidays, different ways that you can use things to get the bang for your buck. I like my money to stretch, and I like to help you find ways to make your money stretch too. Are you loving that? I can't even stand it. It's so cute. Okay, so I want to show you my idea behind my Thanksgiving cards today. Obviously, because I feel like it's always a time to give thanks. And I would love to, this week in Facebook, I'm going to be talking to you about what you're thankful for, how you can find blessings in this time in our lives, because they are there if we're looking for them. But I definitely, and I think I've already told you our Thanksgiving is going to be smaller. We're just going to have a few people. Smaller doesn't mean it can't be fun. It can't be pretty. It can't be nice. And so what I wanted to show you, I'm going to pull it up over here. So I went ahead and got plates. I mean, they're just paper plates, but they're cute. I like that. So got the big plate. So you have the big plate that you can set, and then you've got your cute smaller plate for your dessert plate, right? And then on each plate, you can have your adorable bag, and I got little napkins, and so you can take your fork and spoon in your napkin, and you can set it nicely on the plate, and then you can add little happy chocolate treats. Okay, and it could sit up like this, or it could sit like that with, oh, look at that, that is adorable. And you've got this beautiful place setting, and then you've made a matching card. And so what you do is you tuck it in there and you write what you're thankful for. And there's your gorgeous place setting. It wasn't even costly, but you're still bringing the fun. You're still bringing something beautiful to the table. Don't you love it? Ah, this just warms my heart. I think it's so, so fun. Okay, let's go to the front screen. So I hope you enjoyed this. Heading into the headed toward the holidays, I really wanted to concentrate on Thanksgiving this week and get you excited about fun things that we can do with items you might already have. Maybe you don't have the gnomes, although you want the gnomes. Let's be honest. Maybe you don't have those, but you have other things that you think, okay, how can I make that more than just a Christmas set, or how can I make it more than a spring set, and how can I stretch what I already have? And the other thing I always want to tell you is go and make the world a better place, my friends. We have a voice, we have a purpose, and we need to use that every day to make the world a better place and to show people that they matter, that everyone matters, that we love them, that we care for them, and that we're doing our part to make a difference in the area that we live in. So until I see you next week, I bid you adieu.